Hello there, everyone. If you're watching this video, then you are part of the TTOR army, an army that is building itself up one subscriber at a time. And as you can see from the title and thumbnail of today's video, today we're talking about the atheist Matt Dillahunty and how he committed the No True Scotsman Fallacy against the Apostate Prophet. I kid you not. Now you might be wondering to yourself, how did Matt Dillahunty commit the No True Scotsman Fallacy against the Apostate Prophet? Well, let's go to Twitter to find out. You can see right here on the screen a tweet by the Apostate Prophet. It shows a church that I'm guessing he attends now because he's a recent convert to Christianity. And all he said, as the caption for the picture was, "Life is better this way." Okay, nothing offensive about that. Unless you're Matt Dillahunty, who said in response, "Prove it, and prove that the claims are true. Until then, your faith-based performance, just like Ian's, is just trading one convenient master for another." Oh, that's awfully religious of you, Matt. So in response to what he tweeted, the Apostate Prophet said, "I am a Christian now, Matt. My life is better this way. I am better. Why does this bother you?" And this is why it bothers Matt Dillahunty. According to Matt Dillahunty, Matt said, "Because you pretended to be a skeptic and then adopted a faith-based position that you do not defend yet publicly support as if it's true. You chose comfort over truth. You misrepresented yourself to those who promoted you." He made a typo there. Basically what he's saying is that the Apostate Prophet was never really an atheist or a skeptic. He just pretended to be for all these years and then came out as a Christian. And that he chose comfort over truth, and that he misrepresented himself to Matt and all the other atheists and skeptics who promoted him over the years. So the Apostate Prophet, according to Matt Dillahunty, was never a real atheist. This reminds me of the time a couple years ago when a religion skeptic that I ran across on Twitter claimed that Brett Keane, the man who originated the atheist community on YouTube before becoming a theist and a Christian, this particular female religious skeptic named K-Hart claimed that Brett Keane was never a true atheist. And I documented that instance in my old video, "Religion Skeptic Claims that Brett Keane was never a true atheist. No True Scotsman Fallacy." So obviously, Matt Dillahunty accusing the Apostate Prophet of never having been a real atheist, and he just pretended to be for all these years. It's very similar to this lady who claimed that Brett Keane was never really an atheist. Because, if he was a real atheist, he never would have deconverted to Christianity or theism. That's basically the logic there. So I said in response to Matt Dillahunty, "The No True Scotsman Fallacy is apparently perfectly fine when atheists like you use it against a new convert to Christianity." Now, you may be thinking to yourself, what is this No True Scotsman Fallacy? Well, according to Wikipedia, No True Scotsman, or appeal to purity, is an informal fallacy in which one modifies a prior claim in response to a counterexample by asserting the counterexample is excluded by definition. Now, how is this applied in the real world? Well, it is a fact that the Bible teaches that true Christians cannot fall away from the faith. And if someone falls away from the faith, then it proves that they were not real Christians who belonged to Jesus. Atheists and skeptics have been coming to us for years and claiming that this teaching of the biblical worldview is a form of the No True Scotsman Fallacy. Because according to the atheists, just because someone fell away from the faith and became a skeptic or an atheist doesn't mean that they were not true Christians. So think about this, guys. When Christians point out that someone deconverting from Christianity to atheism proves that that person was never a real Christian and that this is supported by the Bible, the atheists will say, "No, that's wrong, that's bad, that's a logical fallacy." But when an atheist deconverts from atheism to become a Christian, what do they say? Oh, they were never really an atheist, because if they were a real atheist or a real skeptic, they never would have deconverted. That's literally the same thing that Christians say about Christians who fall away from the faith and become atheists or become some form of agnostic or secular skeptic. And yet, atheists say it all the time. Oh, if someone deconverts from atheism and becomes a Christian or some other religion adherent, oh, well, they were never really an atheist. The fact that they fell away proves that they were never really an atheist. So when Christians claim that someone falling away from Christianity proves that that person was not a real Christian, well, that's bad, according to the atheists. But when someone deconverts from atheism to become an adherent to a religion, the atheists turn around and say, that person was never a real atheist. And apparently, the No True Scotsman Fallacy is A-OK for atheists to use to attack people who deconvert from their worldview into another worldview. Now, the Apostate Prophet actually did respond to this Matt Dillahunty tweet about how the Apostate Prophet pretended to be a skeptic and an atheist. The Apostate Prophet said, "What do you mean pretended? I was a skeptic, and to a great deal very much am. People who have watched me know that I have engaged with Christians respectfully but with strong disagreement for many years. I don't tell people they should convert. Why do you come at me?" And Matt Dillahunty, to my knowledge, never responded to this. But there were some other interesting comments here. Someone named Rob told Matt Dillahunty, "As I showed you many months ago, it takes more faith to be an atheist than at a minimum believe in a higher power." Matt Dillahunty said in response, "No, it doesn't. Disbelief requires no faith." Matt, you're an atheist. And you actually have a lot of faith because atheists like you have been telling Christians like us for decades now that if we just abandon Christianity and we abandon religion in general and become atheists, society will advance into this scientific, reason-based utopia and everything will get better. And what we've actually observed over the last 20-ish years is that as people have left religion behind and become atheists, they've gotten stupider. And science is deteriorating, and we're going the opposite direction that your community has been claiming that we would if more people would become atheists. Things are getting worse, not better, the more people convert to atheism. So yeah, it actually does require a lot of faith to believe that atheism is the correct worldview and that things will get better if we all just become atheists. Someone named Armitage said in response to Matt Dillahunty, "I am a skeptic, and I'm asking you to prove that he was pretending to be a skeptic. Until then, this is a faith-based performance. Until and unless you prove otherwise, this is pure cope." Someone named AC said in response to Matt Dillahunty, "What normative authority or ground do you have to dictate what a real atheist is? Why can't an atheist or agnostic not apply skepticism to atheism and become religious? Your skepticism stops there. You are a fake skeptic." Someone named Savid David said in response to Matt Dillahunty, "I wonder if those who choose to identify as a sex other than the one they were born with are choosing comfort over truth. Are they, Matt? Is that suddenly an issue for you that someone chose personal comfort over verifiable, objective, or observable truth?" Jake the Crazy said in response to Matt Dillahunty, "Matt, you're coming off as a bitter old man and it does nothing for atheism and it just makes you look petty. It's not a good look. It's a major holiday. He wasn't making a scholarly argument. You can leave him alone." Someone named Easy Peasy said in response to Matt Dillahunty, "You are so far gone. If God came down on earth, knocked on your door, and did a whole bunch of miracles in front of your face, you still wouldn't believe. It's funny you say that he pretended. Anyone who has watched AP and who has a brain cell can tell he wasn't pretending. When you have went down this path so hard, to everyone else it seems like you'll never admit God exists because you don't want to be wrong. Your version of being right is more important to you. Your idol is yourself. You'll never be able to see, hear, feel, understand God until you remove yourself from your pedestal. Pet Gorilla said in response to Matt Dillahunty, "It's your own fault that your limp-wristed atheism can't stand up to any scrutiny. This young man sought truth and found it in Jesus. The fact that you can't cope with the falling of your house of cards should tell you many things about atheism." I'm going to like that one. I'm going to repost it too. And then Dave Day said, "Has anyone asked Apostate Prophet what evidence convinced him that the Christian God is real? And has he provided any robust evidence that withstands scrutiny? This seems to me to be the best way to sort this disagreement out in as fair a way as possible." You're right, Dave. The problem is that people like Matt Dillahunty are not capable of having such conversations. Christian Gadfly says, "AP spends 12 years as an atheist. People who claim they need evidence. He was never an atheist." He was just pretending for 12 years. Exactly. Hades' undead proud diorite said, "You're not even a real atheist, LOL. You're a washed-up relic from 2009 who thinks new atheism is still hip and cool." Texas Paladin said in response to Matt Dillahunty, "The sad, bitter skeptic rolls out the no true atheist canard. Hilarious that you about comfort over truth when you are dating a troon, a trans person. What is a woman, Matt?" And even though we can go on all night, we're going to read one last comment by Arthur Redmond, who said, "Matt, can you just relax? People change. Just because you're steadfast in your beliefs doesn't mean that others can't be open to other beliefs. Stop acting like an ultra-conservative evangelical pastor." Gosh! And that's the truth. When Matt Dillahunty claims that the Apostate Prophet was never a real atheist or skeptic, and that the proof of this is that the Apostate Prophet converted to Christianity after being an atheist for 12 years, that's no different fundamentally than a Christian claiming that a Christian who deconverts from the faith and becomes an atheist was never a real Christian. There is no difference fundamentally between that and what Matt Dillahunty is saying here. This means that Matt Dillahunty is a raging hypocrite, just like most atheists are when you get right down to it. He is literally the exact kind of religious person that he condemns religious people of being. At this point, I'm done talking about Matt Dillahunty, but before we get out of here, I'd like to talk to you about something really briefly. YouTube censorship's been going on for the last 9 years at least, possibly 10 years. I don't know exactly when it really started officially on a wider scale, but it's been a really long time. YouTube censorship's been going on a really long time, and it's only getting worse. And YouTube alternatives have sprung up all over the place the last couple of years. But there are two YouTube alternatives in particular that I would encourage you to follow me on if you're a fan of my content, but you don't like YouTube as a platform. The first one is Rumble, which you can see right here on screen. Rumble is a video sharing site that has become really popular over the last about 5 years, I would say, maybe 4 years. And millions upon millions of people use the website. We're talking well over 100 million site visitors every month. And we're talking about channels that have literally a couple million subscribers. Live streaming is fun here. And I have a Rumble channel that has over 150 subs. We're actually up to 154 subs at the time of this recording. And what I do is I post all of my videos here, just like I do on YouTube, with one exception. In addition to the videos I post on YouTube being here on my Rumble channel, I live stream to my Rumble channel. All my TTOR show live streams, my God TV radio podcasts, and recently my Proverbs Guy Ministries streams have all been going to my Rumble channel when they're live. So, if you are a fan of my content and you want to see my live streams when they are live, then I would encourage you to subscribe to my Rumble channel, watch my videos here on Rumble, and be sure to tune in when I'm live, and be sure to share my videos, my live streams, and my Rumble channel as far and wide as you can. But in addition to Rumble, the other site that you really should subscribe to me on is Quarter. Quarter is an open source alt tech alternative to YouTube that I started back in May of 2022. And it is my baby. I run it, and it is an awesome website. In terms of features and functionality, it rivals YouTube and in some ways is even better. For example, Quarter has full HD video upload capacity, including 4K resolution. It has live streaming, free restreaming, a public playlists option, which some video sites in the alt tech world don't have. It has an easy-to-use comment moderation system where you can not only post text in the comments, you can also post pictures in the comments as well. There's also cool features like the ability to write articles, where you can not only embed Quarter videos in your blog posts on your channel, but you can embed any video on the internet that allows for HTML embedding code. There is also the ability to upload audio files instead of videos to your channel. There's the ability to upload pictures instead of videos to your channel. There's also video chat rooms that you can create to do basic video calling things, and you can live stream to your channel from those rooms. And there's also Quarter Bucks, an insight currency that you earn by getting views on your videos. And once you get enough Quarter Bucks, you can promote your individual videos or your entire channel on the front page of the site. But beyond the features, Quarter honors real freedom of speech because I'm a free speech advocate, and my website is hosted in the United States of America, where First Amendment protections apply. And so basically, as long as you're not a terrorist promoting terrorism, and as long as you're not posting porn, you can say and do whatever you want here on Quarter, which is a level of freedom of speech that most video sharing sites do not have, with a few exceptions. So if you're a fan of my content and you want to see my videos on my own website, Quarter, as well as my live streams, because I do live stream to Quarter as well as Rumble, then I would encourage you to subscribe to my Quarter channel, check out my videos on Quarter, and be sure to tune into my live streams on Quarter when they are live. And with that, I bid you guys adieu and farewell, and I will see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.